pretty hard to put into words the impact that, you know, these kinds of experiences have on me as a city-born, city-bred artist. To be able to travel out to these tiny little communities and be welcomed with open arms, to be given the trust to tell their stories, even though a lot of the time you're not too sure of what the story is. I think in a way it's the unknown of an experience like this that makes it so magic. I'm Joel Fergie. I'm a Brisbane-based artist in Australia, and this is the story of Three Moon. It was pretty surreal driving into Monto for the first time. Trav and I had been planning on doing these artworks for around a year before we got to visit properly, and we knew that when we drove into that place that in a couple of months' time we were going to have made these artworks about a place that we were unfamiliar with, but inevitably we would do our best, put everything we could into learning and sharing stories and experiences with the locals, and eventually create a work that hopefully everyone felt connected to, like we've felt connected to it.
The hardest part I find is just trying to make sure that everyone's happy with what you're doing, because it can go in so many different directions, and obviously we're trying to tell stories. You're sometimes crossing borders or approaching obstacles that you never really done before, and you're trying to just figure out, is this going to make people happy? Are people going to accept this? Are people going to enjoy what we're painting? And then just second guessing what you're doing and if it's right, but in the end it always comes out right, because you go through all these obstacles to create the final piece.
While we're painting the water tower in town, we quickly noticed while we're up on the boom lift and look down, and almost every house there's someone sitting out the front on their deck chair, sort of just drinking a cup of tea or maybe knitting, or, you know, looking up at us, waving away, hey! And we're like looking down, and before we knew it, we were good friends with so many of those people. You know, they come down every afternoon and chat to us, and one of the ladies, Cheryl, who was just the epitome of a nice woman, she just started randomly bringing us down baked goods. You know, first day it was jam drops, the next day it was fruit cake, the day after was jam drops because we wanted more jam drops and we'd eat them all in the first half hour. You know, another lady on the final day when we were putting the finishing touches on, I don't think we ate all day, and whether or not she was just watching and noticed that, she walked over with this box full of different snacks. There was like a beautiful curry that she'd made with some chocolate cake and some hot bread with butter on it, and it just walks up and goes, thank you. You know, and when something like that happens, you just go, man, we must be making some kind of impact on these people. When does a stranger walk up to you and give you a box of lunch? such a huge part of our time in Monto was taken up by doing the artwork. And I think something that's really important to Trav and I is making sure that's not the only thing that we're putting our heart into. You know, the artwork is, for me, it's like 50% of what this kind of experience is. The other half is, you know, you finish work and a local might pop up to the silo at the end of the day and go, "You want to come back to ours for a beer? You know, I got some cool photos to show you." And for Trav and I, it's just always, yeah, we're keen. You know, like we'd love to come and you know, have a beer or have some dinner with you, or go check out your shed filled with all this cool stuff that we've never seen. You know, I think like without that, the artwork is just this pretty picture. It's a pretty picture just for us, but I would say for the community as well, because an artwork is a story, and if people can add to that story and be a part of it and find their own place in the story, then the artwork just has so much more power in the long run.
I think the highlight of Monto was just meeting some beautiful people and being accepted into the community. When we'd finished and I walked across the road and they had the fire going and all the people from town were there, and I just realised that we'd created something pretty special, and everyone was there to see it. And then just turning around and seeing all the people in their caravans taking photos and lining up, and just realising, yeah, we've made an impact.